back to Scott's Making Sports today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back with my dad today, and we are back with another week of predictions for the NFL season. We will be doing this until the NFL season starts. That'll be on September 10th. So let's keep it going right now with the next two teams on the predictions. So the first team up will be the New England Patriots. After another AFC East championship title last season, looking for another one this year. New quarterback in town is Cam Newton, so we'll see how he does with New England. So let's start with the predictions right now. First game up at home against the Miami Dolphins. I have this game as a win for New England to start the season off 1-0. I don't think the Dolphins are good enough to beat them at Gillette this year, so I'll take the Patriots at home to get revenge for what the Dolphins did to them last year at Gillette. I'll take the Pats over the Dolphins.
I agree with Scott, although I will say Miami gives New England fits, especially at Miami, but since this one is at Gillette and they've got something to prove without Brady, I think they will beat the beleaguered Miami Dolphins.
Next up, on the road at the Seattle Seahawks. I have this game as their first loss of the season. I think Russell Wilson's going to outplay Cam Newton in this game. I think the 12th man, if it's there, we don't know, will be there and loud. So I'm going to take the Seahawks at home to beat the Patriots and start them off 1-1.
Again, I'm going to agree with Scott. I don't care whether the fans are there or not. I think Seattle's a superior team to New England. They're traveling from east to west. I like Seattle in this one.
Next up, at home against the Oakland Raiders. I think the Patriots defense is going to win this game for them. I'm expecting something like a 24-17 type game here. I'll take New England at home over the Raiders in a low-scoring game.
I'm going to agree with Scott yet again. The Vegas Raiders, I do not think are quite there yet. I think they're a couple years away from being able to beat a team like New England, so I'm going to take New England in this one. If New England goes 2-1 at this point.
Next up, on the road at Kansas City. I have this game as a loss. I just don't think Cam Newton has what it takes to go to Arrowhead and defeat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, so I'll take the Chiefs at home over the Patriots.
At this point, I feel like Scott's trained monkey. I've agreed on every pick. I'm going to agree on this one. The Pats lose at Kansas City 2-2.
Next up, at home against the Denver Broncos. I have this game as a win. The Broncos offense just doesn't look good enough right now. I'll take the Patriots over the Broncos.
Again, I'm going to agree with Scott. 5 times in a row. Unbelievable. 3-2 for the Patriots. They get the win against the Broncos. They're not good enough to beat the Patriots on the road.
Next up, at home against the Niners. Your first home loss of the season comes right here. I'll take the Niners to get it done against the Pats at home.
Dang it. I'm going to agree with Scott yet again. I like the 49ers. I think they're too talented. I think the Patriots go 3-3.
Next up, on the road at Buffalo, give me the Bills. I think the Bills are going to be a much better team this year than New England, so I'll take the Bills at home to get it done against the Pats.
7 times in a row, I'm going to agree with Scott. The Buffalo Bills win this game, and the Pats go to 3-4.
Yep, same. Next up, at the New York Jets at East Rutherford, I will take the Pats to get it done. They never lose against the Jets in New York, so I'll take the Pats over the Jets.
My first deviation from Scott, I think the Jets are going to be improved this year. I think they have done a nice job rounding out their roster, and I think the Pats are going to lose and go 3-5. Scott's down 4-4.
Next up, at home against the Baltimore Ravens, I have this game as a loss. I just don't think Cam Newton's good enough to put up enough points against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, so I'll take the Ravens to get it done against the Pats.
I agree with Scott again on this one. I've got the Pats losing, now going 3-6.
Yeah, I have them at 4-5, right?
Yep.
Next up, out on the road at the Houston Texans. I think you'll get a win here. Deshaun Watson might be a better quarterback than Cam is, but I don't think they have a good enough team. I'll take the Pats to get it done against the Texans.
I think the Pats are going to lose again. I think this is going to be the worst season the Pats have had in a long time. They're going 3-7.
So I'm at 5-5. Next up, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals heading into town. I will take the Patriots to get a win here. I think the Pats are 6-5 right now, so I'll take the Pats to get it done against the Cardinals.
Cardinals are going to continue to improve, I think, with Kyler Murray, but I still think the Pats will get them at home and go to 4-7.
Next up, on the road at the Chargers. I don't think the Charger offense will be good enough in this game. I'll I'll take the Pats to win a very low scoring game. This might be one of the most boringest games of the season. I'll take the Patriots to get it done in a very low scoring game against the Chargers.
I'm gonna agree. I've got to give the Patriots at least one win on the road, so I'm gonna go with the Patriots here for me to go 5-7.
And next up on the road at the Rams, another win here for me. I think this is going to be a very good win for the Patriots here. I think the Rams are going to be in rebuild mode this year without Gurley, without a lot of those other guys that they traded away in the offseason. I'll take the Patriots at home on the road in LA, which will basically be a home game. I'll take the Pats over the Chargers, over the Rams.
And I agree with Scott here. I think the Rams are in for a long year. They've lost a lot of their talent. I've got the Patriots now going to 6-7 and getting 2 wins on the West Coast.
I do not know what my records are right now, but that's okay. Next up on the road at Miami, I have this game as a loss. I think this is where you lose your game this year. I'll take the Dolphins at home to upset the Patriots.
And I've got the Dolphins also winning against the Patriots, moving the Patriots to 6-8.
Next up at home against the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to take the Bills to get a win here. I think Buffalo is going to be a much better team than the Patriots are this year. So I'll take the Bills to get it done against the Patriots.
I think at home, by this point in the season, the Patriots will have put it together. I think they'll get a win against Buffalo at home, going 7-8.
Next up on the road at home against the New York Jets. I have you guys sweeping the Jets this year. So I'll take the Pats at home against the Jets.
And I have you at 10-6, I believe.
Yeah.
And I've got them also beating the Jets at home, finishing the season at 8-8.
Yep. And I do have the Patriots getting a wild card spot in the AFC. I think the Buffalo Bills will probably win the division, probably 11-5, 12-4, and then New England will come in at 10-6 and take that wild card spot.
And I've got the Patriots missing the playoffs for the first time since Matt Castle was their quarterback, ushering a new era after Tom Brady.
Next up into the Denver Broncos predictions. First game out at home against the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to take the Titans here. I think the Titans are going to be a better team than Denver will be this year. So I'll take the Titans to get it done on the road at Mile High against the Broncos.
I agree. I mean, I think with Derrick Henry, no one could stop him last year. I think the Broncos will this year. I've got the Denver Broncos going 0-1.
Next up on the road at Pittsburgh. We made our Steelers predictions last week. I believe I have the Steelers winning this game last week. I'll stick to it. Big Ben and the Steelers get it done at Heinz Field against the Broncos.
I'm going to agree again with Scott. I also picked the Steelers in this one last week, so I'll pick them again. Broncos are 0-2 for both Scott and I.
Next up on the road at home, this time at Mile High against Tom Brady and the Bucs. I will take Tom Brady to squeak out a win here. I think it's going to be a last-second Matt Gay field goal to win it. The Bucs get a win at Mile High against the Broncos.
So Scott has got Denver 0-3 at this point. I actually picked Denver to upset the Bucs, so I've got the Broncos going 1-2. I think this is going to be a surprise win for the Broncos.
Next up on the road at the New York Jets. Here's your first one of the season. Then I'll take the Broncos. I think the Kingdom of Drew Lock will do just enough this week to get it done against the Jets.
I think the Jets are going to be better this year. I think Denver will lose on the road at New York. If this is at home, I would take the Broncos, but on the road, I got them 1-3. So Scott and I both have them 1-3.
We can skip week 5 since we already made a prediction for this game. We both had the Patriots beating the Broncos on the road. Next up, so we both have them at 1-4. Next up, at home against the Miami Dolphins. Give me a win here for the Denver Broncos. I think the Broncos will be a much better team than what the Dolphins will be this year. So I'll take the Broncos over the Dolphins.
I agree. I think it's two pretty bad teams, but I think the Broncos are a little better than the Dolphins. So both Scott and I have got them 2-4 at this point.
Next up on the road at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a loss for me. This is probably the best team in the division. I'll take the Chiefs at home on the road against the Broncos.
I agree. Kansas City's going to have too much offense. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. So I've got them losing to the Chiefs to go 2-5.
Next up on the road at Atlanta. Always one road game where a team shouldn't lose. I think it's right here. Give me the Falcons to call for minor upset over the Broncos.
I'm going to agree with Scott again. I think Atlanta is going to be improved over last year. So I'm also going to take the Falcons for a 2-6 record, as Scott has as well.
Next up on the road at the Raiders, I have this game as a loss. I think the Raiders could be a potential playoff team this year. So I'm going to take the Raiders at home in Las Vegas against Denver.
I agree. I think the Raiders are going to be improved over last year. They're playing at home, so I'm going to take the Raiders at home for a 2-7 record.
Next up on the at home against the LA Chargers. Give me a win here. I think Justin Herbert will probably be in at this point, but it doesn't really matter. He doesn't have enough weapons. Give me the Broncos to get it done against the Chargers.
I agree. I think the Chargers just do not have enough on offense this year. They'll be pretty good defensively. I think in a low-scoring game, the Broncos will get this win and go 3-7, just as Scott has them as well.
Next up on the road at home against the New Orleans Saints. No question here. Give me Drew Brees and the Saints to get a win here on the road at Denver. I think this is probably the best team in the NFC. Well, one of them. So I'll take the Saints over the Broncos.
I agree. Saints will be as good as they were the last couple of years. So I've got the Broncos losing this one now to go. Are we at 3-8?
Yeah, I think so. Next up on the road at Kansas City. You guys did beat them at home and you're not beating them there, so I'll take the Chiefs over the Broncos.
I agree. Chiefs are just too good.
Next up on the road at Carolina. Give me a win here. I think the defense will do enough to slow down Christian McCaffrey this week. So I think the Broncos will get it done against Carolina.
I think on the road against Carolina, I still think Carolina's going to win this one. So I still only have Denver winning 3 games at this point.
Next up on the road at home against the Buffalo Bills. Again, there's always one road game where nobody expects the team to lose, and I think it's right here. Give me the Broncos to pull off a major upset at home. I'll take the Broncos to pull off an upset over the Buffalo Bills at home.
I think that's a good pick, but I'm going the other way. I like the Broncos. I'm sorry, I've got the Buffalo Bills going on the road to beat the Broncos. Still giving Denver only 3 wins on the year.
Next up on the road at LA. Give me the Broncos to get a win here on the road in LA against the Chargers.
I think home and away makes a big difference. This time I'm going to pick the Chargers to win at home. And again, a low-scoring game. Denver still only has 3 wins on my board.
Next up at home against the Raiders, Week 17. Potential playoff spot on the line for the Raiders. So I will take the Raiders on the road in Denver to get it done against the Broncos.
I think Denver's going to play the spoiler this week and actually get Las Vegas at home, get their 4th win on the year.
So I have them at 7-9. My dad has them at 4-10. So we'll see what happens with that. Next week we'll be doing both of the New York teams, the Jets and the Giants next week. I'll see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Weekly Sports right here on YouTube. Always like, subscribe, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Weekly Sports. See you later, guys.
See you guys.